Hi guys, Dumelang, Sanwonani, Gabsheni, Tobela, and whatever says hello in your language. And welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Confidence, and if you're new here, guys, subscribe but to all of those that have been subscribing, thank you so much, appreciate it. Thank you for showing your girls some love. You see, to show consistency and love, the chilling and plunge, not too much. Anyways, if you came here because you saw the title of this video saying UCT or WITS, which one is the best, and you came in here thinking I'm going to talk about the rankings, sorry, this is not what this video is about. I think also I wanted to do this video because I've been thinking a lot about it, and also like just trying to find my niche on this channel as well. But I think more than anything, I'm doing student life right now, lifestyle, and just relationships in general, but we'll get there. So UCT and WITS, please know that you are speaking to someone who has both experiences, you know, the UCT experience and the WITS experience. And this is not to say any university is the best or the worst like that, but this is my personal experience. And I think like all the time, or most of the times, when we say which university should I go to or what should I do and study, we normally think like which university is the best and stuff like that, which I don't think should be the case, to be honest, because these universities are amazing in, you know, some way at one point. But I think the one important thing that I actually wanted to mention with you guys is the importance of knowing where you're going and what you're getting yourself into. Firstly, so I went to UCT first, and now I'm currently at WITS. And I think most of the times when we choose universities, and I hope this is not the mistakes that all of us did, but this is the mistake that I did, and I'm making this video to hopefully not allow you guys to make the same mistake that I did. When we choose universities, the one thing we choose, especially as young people, is I want to go as far from home as possible. That was me. I mean, I am from the Free State. I wanted to actually think if I could say I'm from the Free State, but I am from the Free State, like the end of the Free State. If you can make sense of it, well done. If you can't, maybe in the next video I will. Now I'm still a bit iffy, but I am from the Free State. So when I went to UCT, I was like, I want to go as far from home as possible. And you know what? That worked. That made sense until you face life challenges, until school gets a lot, until there are things at home that you need to attend to, or like, you know, all of that happens and you're so far away that even having to go from home, it's a decision on its own. Because if you are closer to home, thing is, you could literally just pack your bag and take a taxi and leave. But if you are that far and you have to think about buying a ticket, a flight ticket, if you're gonna take a bus, for me it was like, I take a bus, it's gonna drop me off at Harrismith. That logistic, 1, 2, I have to either let my parents know that I am coming, and then they have to fetch me in Harrismith because that's still quite far away from where I stay, you know. So it was like that kind of vibe. But whereas when you are closer to home, so now that I'm in Johannesburg, I'm very close to home, like 4 hours away from home. Whereas when I was in UCT, I was like 16 hours, make it 17, 18 sometimes, depending on the bus situation. And even if I were to take a flight, it will be like a flight to Joburg, and then I have to take another taxi back home, or like a bus, and then another, you know. So it was quite complicated. So I think like if you are choosing a university, besides you wanting to be far away from home, think about the logistics one, and just think about the overall situation at home. If obviously at home they can afford that, if you want to come home, you come right here, right now, then sure, go to UCT. Go as far away as possible. But if you know that you are one, I'm a very clingy person, by the way. I want my mom kind of person. Not even my mom, but I want my family. I want to be closer to family. I am very family oriented. Is that the thing? I need to constantly go home to refill my cup. So I felt like UCT didn't give me that opportunity. I went home twice a year. So I'd go to Cape Town in early Feb, or late Jan, and then I'd go home again in June, and then I'd go home obviously again for back in December. And it looked nice. If you're thinking about it and you're in high school right now, you're thinking, amazing vibes because home is annoying, or you know, I just want to be far away. But to be honest, you really do need those moments where you constantly fill your cup, constantly are with people that know you and stuff like that. Cool. The other thing I want to mention that we don't actually speak about a lot is tuition fees. Yeah, tuition fees. Guys, school is expensive. Uni per se is expensive. And I think we did this in LO at one point, and to be honest, I just thought teachers were being teachers. You guys went to colleges, and I hope my teachers don't watch this, but you guys went to colleges and you went to like universities that are closer to home, and now you want all of us to do all of that. No, we're not doing that. But to be honest, when you choose an institution, you have to actually also think about tuition fees, right? UCT is very expensive. I want to say that again. University on the mountain, the tuition fee is very crazy. And I guess also it's a thing of you have a bursary, you do not have a bursary, but also considering that life might also happen. You get into varsity, you think you're the smartest thing to ever happen to this earth, and you fail. And your bursary decides to cut you off. But the thing is, you need to still continue with school. Will your parents, with all their means and what they can afford, be able to continue paying your tuition fees? It's you know, it's also one of those things like, am I being realistic here? Am I making sense, or are things like gonna make sense? You know. So I was actually thinking now. I think if I remember properly, I don't remember if this also included my raise, but with my UCT, I paid close to 200,000 a year. Maybe it was the boomer like 160,000 and going to 170 something, so close to 200k a year, right? And then now I am currently paying, how much is my tuition fee? I think with all my courses right now it's 50 something thousand. And this is excluding accommodation because I don't stay at any raise, right? But even then, even if I had to stay at raise, last year I stayed at raise and my raise was 50k a year. Obviously that's like the cap, but obviously if you want all the fancy rooms, studios and stuff like that, you'd have to pay more. But for you to stay at raise, like let's say 50k. So if it had to make sense, the highest I'd have to pay here is like maybe 110 with accommodation included, which is so much better than what I paid at UCT, to be honest. And I understand Joburg is not as expensive as University of Cape Town, true, as Cape Town. But also my other thing is, obviously everything in Cape Town is very expensive. Even right now with my friends, they're complaining about accommodation. They pay close to like my 10k for like a 2-bedroom apartment. That is something that you still need to share. So between 7k and 10k, and that's like sharing. That's per person for like, so it means like 20k and stuff. Whereas in Joburg you pay like 7.5, 8k and stuff like that. So which is like quite affordable. So that's also that to consider. What else do you need to consider again? I actually thought I should have written this down, but I didn't. But I think the other thing you have to consider is eventually where you want to stay. This does not eventually translate to where you will settle later in life when you're done with uni. But most of the times, the university you go to is in proximity or like makes sense to the type of place you could possibly get a job, right? So if you studied at UCT, chances are you'd go to Vex there, work there, and all of that. But chances of you finding a job in Cape Town are more better. And if you go to WITS, chances of you getting jobs this side are better. So also consider that. But to be honest, if I were to recommend anyone like an institution to go to, I would say it depends. All right, it really depends. But also the curriculum. Okay, before I get to my recommendations, the curriculum. So I was both at UCT and WITS. I did the commerce stream. So BCom, I know with UCT as well, that includes the BBASI, like Bachelor of Business Sciences. But I generally think if you wanna finish your degree, they're gonna come for me. But if you wanna finish your degree on time, but this could also be my personal experience, guys. This is my personal experience, né? But if you wanna finish your degree on time, I would recommend you coming to WITS. Right? Let me cook. So the modules that I did at UCT that I also did at WITS, I got that opportunity to also do at WITS. And I was shocked. I guess also one, just the way things are taught, the weighting, and just how things are approached. I'm more better at WITS than they are at UCT. Honestly. This is my personal experience. I get good. With WITS, I feel like there's more support in terms of lectures, one, but people, tutors as well, extra materials and stuff like that. As much as there are some modules that I think UCT you call them courses, I don't know why, but there are some modules where you can't find past papers because the course policy does not allow, and stuff like that. But I feel like there is essentially, over and above that, there is more support than there is at UCT. For example, economics. My economics at UCT was bad. I felt like I needed to go 3 times, 4 times in an average student, which was crazy because going into varsity, I thought, oh, I'm actually going to be an economist. UCT said, excuse me, what? You want to be a what? That's right. Okay. But to be honest, the curriculum is very different. So I would recommend WITS, to be honest. I'd recommend WITS. And this is not to say WITS still gives the edge. If you don't study, you will fail. Period. If you don't study, you'll fail. But there's more improvement in my marks at WITS than there was at UCT. I also don't know if there's the extra support or my extra determination. I don't know, but there is that. But I also think WITS is more theoretical, and I'm a very theoretical person. With UCT, everything was just, let's put it into practice kind of vibe. Others may beg to differ that UCT is more theoretical than WITS is, but this is my experience, and this is the faculty that I am in, right? Or am and was in. Yeah, but overall, I think I'm a people's person. I love people. I think WITS is more accommodating. And guys, this is not because I'm at WITS. No. I think WITS is more accommodating. The culture there is more approachable. People are people. And whereas at UCT, it was hard to actually fit in. And the classes, if you are at the end, if you are rich, you are rich. And if you're okay, you're okay. And if you are on the other side, you are. If you're not good at home, it's quite visible. But I think in Joburg, it's a thing of we're able to cover each other. It's a thing of we're able to get involved in circles that you wouldn't necessarily be involved in Cape Town. I was actually saying to a friend of mine a few days ago that Kanti K-Way is not a thing in Joburg. But K-Way. What gaan aan? Because in UCT, in winter, even if it's not in winter, guys, but like if you're writing exams at night and stuff like that. Oh, that's the other thing. Because like with UCT, you normally write exams at at night. Exams and tests, well, tests actually at night. So like you have tests that would normally start at like 6 p.m. So if you are a person that travels between home and school, that is also problematic because, you know. So but with WITS, everything is during the day. We are day people. But also I was talking about the K-way. In UCT, K-way is a lifestyle. Every corner you turn, it's a K-way jacket, it's a K-way bag, kitty K-way. And I don't think it's because people in Joburg don't have money, but I don't think the pressure is that much. You understand? Yeah. And guys, this is obviously me. And eventually everybody gets to make a choice that is best for them. But if you wanna go to UCT, go knowing what's going on. If you wanna go to WITS, knowing what's going on. And if you enjoyed this video, please do let me know so that I can do more of these sit downs. I feel like sit downs are more better than vlogs because they don't require me to go in public holding the camera. That is stressful sometimes. But if you like this video, please give it a like. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please comment, guys. If you got to this part of the video, please drop a heart. Please drop a heart. Drop a we love confidence in the comment section. But thank you so much for subscribing, for liking, for commenting in advance. Until then, this is it from me.